Welcome. You are now listening to Click Click Play. Please enjoy.
Fight!
Hello and welcome to Click Click Play episode, it's episode 108. Thank you for asking. I'm the host with the most, BiggusBennus, and as always, I'm joined by the gorgeous, the beautiful, he's not here today, so we've got Jordan Reese.
Oh, you bugger. I was wondering how you're going to swerve me then, because you normally like pay loads of compliments and then don't come to me, but I was like, I'm the only motherfucker here, so these nice things that you said must be about me, but no, you were too wily for me.
Oh, I wasn't planning.
Tosser.
I was planning to be nice, and then I was like, I can't be nice. It's like, we're men. Men aren't nice to each other. We can't. It's our toxic masculinity.
It's not the British way, is it?
No. Oh, no. Like somebody was saying the other day, they were like, somebody in chat was being complimentary to me, and I was like, and I had to joke and was like, don't be complimentary. Be nasty. I like it when you're rude. Be offensive. The more offensive, well, actually, no, maybe not the more offensive, the better. But yeah, just say, hey, dickhead. That's great.
Yeah, why not?
Anyway, if you're listening to this on your favorite podcast player, you might be like, what the fuck? They're like decent quality for once. And that is because Jordan and I, or you might be like, oh, what do you mean? This is terrible quality because it didn't work. But Jordan and I are currently going to be, we're recording it separately on each end. We're going to be double ending this. And when it goes up for the podcast on whatever your favorite podcast player is, you'll hear like local quality sound. So it should sound really, really nice. Also, I've just totally forgotten that I haven't got my sound effects turned off. It doesn't matter because they're not going to get added, but I do need to change it.
Double NFTW.
But I must thank Rob Butt for subscribing for 7 months in a row. But I will have to turn those off because I totally forgot. I've had so many things to do. It's 108 podcasts in. I'm starting to get the hang of it. I forget things every now and again. But anyway, so it's changing slightly. I don't think we've even told Andre this, but it's mainly going to be just me and Jordan podcasting, and hopefully with an extra person joining us every now and again, special guest, and we'll be hopefully join. Yeah, I think it's going to just be like more of a local, like a close thing. Just me, me and Jordan start with, then get like guests in every now and again, but they'll have to record it locally as well, so we can all sound beautiful when I put things together. But yeah. We're going to start with normal, just like games, then the news, and then questions. Hopefully we'll get some questions in. If anybody's got any questions, feel free to just drop them in the chat. Rob Butt, he is our mod in the chat. I forgot I made him a mod. Did I make him a mod when we were doing that drunk stream out in the beer garden?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, good. Well, he can keep that sword because I trust that man with a sword. Should I?
I wouldn't.
No. Well, he can keep it. It looks good next to him. All right. Well, this is about time he had something big in his hands. And let's go and find out what's Jordan been up to lately.
What, in just life or video games or what?
Life. Tell me all about your life.
Nothing's happening in my life at the moment. Really, really quiet. No big changes or anything like that. So yeah, everything's good. No. I've recently moved. You might notice that this background is slightly different.
Only a little bit. It's just missing the the wall slants that way rather than that way.
Yeah. I've tried to replicate my old place as much as possible. But yeah, I've moved. So I'm now in the centre of Cardiff, very close to you, Ben, but we're obviously just too lazy to actually meet up to record a podcast. Maybe
too lazy.
We'll do it one day, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm just too lazy to tidy up this room. Like this room is not. It's let's say it's a good job. It doesn't show the floor. I can see carpet, not a lot of it, but there is carpet in here.
Yeah. And
I'm recycling bottles in this corner.
Okay.
Doing my bit.
Well, I don't like messy places, so if you do invite me over, please make sure that you have cleaned, or if you want, come to mine and we'll record it there.
Yeah. Will do, sir. But yeah, so you enjoying being in Cardiff?
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, the heart of Wales. Everything's going on.
Jeez.
There's just homeless people everywhere. It's fantastic.
I went to London yesterday. I've got to say that. Yeah, I went to London. That was full of homeless people as well.
I did see a pic near number 10.
Yes, I went past number 10 Downing Street, where as we record this, the Prime Minister Boris Johnson lives. Although I think he's in Manchester right now. I don't know. By the time you people listen to this, maybe it's changed. Who knows? But yeah, I had a look. I stood at the angle so I could see the door. I was like, oh, that's the door for number 10. And I took a bunch of students. They didn't really seem that interested. They were, oh God.
Oh, it was a school trip, was it?
It was a school. Yeah, I was in charge of taking a school trip. And they're like, okay, you'll catch the train. You'll go to then just like follow this map, go around, and then catch the train back. Then the day before I was going, they were like, oh yeah, we've decided that you're going to take the megabus. So because it's too expensive to take the train. And I should have been like, warning. And just said, well, no, you're going to have to find someone else then. Because 4.5 hours on a megabus, both ways, makes me want to kill myself. It's the most uncomfortable. Like, I've been on National Express. National Express is luxury compared to the megabus. National Express, the head support, there's head support for it, for me. Because on the megabus, it only goes up to my shoulder, so I can't like rest my head back or anything. So I had 4 hours of my head going like that. My neck was absolutely killing me. Couldn't rest it against the window because that was just vibrating and bouncing off after every... You know what the roads are like in the UK. So that was just... Yeah. And then I had a headache as well on the way back. So that just was utter pain. I remember counting down the minutes. And I was listening to songs being like, this song... Okay, I found this... it was the Pirates of the Caribbean medley. I was like, okay, if I get to the end of this song, that's 10 minutes gone. And 10 minutes closer to home. It was just nightmare. I absolutely hate it. Never take the megabus. Unless they're sponsoring us, in which case there is no finer way to travel, and no one's sponsoring us. No.
Just like to say to any new listeners to the show, this is a very upbeat and positive podcast. We talk about video games. We don't spend the entire hour or so talking about megabus and different formats of travel. We do talk about the latest and greatest video games at some point during the show. Yeah,
that comes up later. But yeah, there was so bottle of piss, says Rob. Is Jordan drinking a bottle? I think that's white wine from a cup.
I think he was insinuating you've got bottles of piss on your floor, Ben.
Oh no, I'm not that much of a gamer. Speaking of gaming, John, do you fancy going to TwitchCon EU next May?
Ben, do you fancy hammering nails into your eyes?
What would be... Oh, I was looking at... people at TwitchCon US right now. I'm going to go to that as well if I can find the money for it. Hopefully I will.
You're going to go all the way to the United States to go to the TwitchCon?
San Diego. Yeah, I'll make it into like a West Coast US holiday as well, so I will have to do some saving. You're not, not desperate for a bit of US West Coast style fun?
Yeah, as long as it doesn't involve a TwitchCon.
Oh, but TwitchCon EU's in Amsterdam, John. Can you just imagine the EU TwitchCon? It's a lot of people that you can't actually understand because they don't speak your language. That'd be weird. I was thinking that, yes, TwitchCon EU would they mainly be English speakers?
Everybody can speak English, really. Like, some people like to pretend that they can't. Do you know what I mean? Just to make a point of it. Yeah. But like, if you're born in 2019 and you can't speak English by the age of 20, something's gone wrong. I would argue.
Well, there we go. Hello, people. Anyone that's still here. I was looking at all the pictures and videos of everybody at TwitchCon, and I've never seen like so many like people where every person is like a big personality. And like, I imagine that for some people that would be a fucking nightmare. But I'm gonna love it because when I'm like, hey, when I see somebody and then they kind of cower, instead I'll be like, hey, and they'll either go fuck you or respond similarly. I'm thinking.
I'm lost. Why are people saying fuck you to you, Ben? Because you said hello.
I'm not a very nice person. Have you ever seen my streams?
Right. No.
I'm sure. Yeah. Why would you watch this? Anybody in the chat? I'm sure people in the chat will be like, yeah, no, I'd shout that as well at him. But anyway, let's go into the games. Now, we're not going to have because we're recording this separately, we're not going to have the normal games thing. So I'm going to record it separately and also no Triple H. So, John, can you give me a games intro song or noise or...
No, let's not go back to that.
Go on, Jordan.
No. So are we saying that with this canned podcast, are we going to just use the same sound effects that we already have, but without the video? Or...
we could do, or I might just find some other little sound effects. Poor Andre's been properly ditched, hasn't he? He was editing Jake Paul podcasts nowadays, so he's gone up in the world.
You made your interstitials, then you threw them off the show, Ben. It's pretty harsh, if you ask me.
Yeah. Well, we can still include them. We still got the intro. All about the game and how to play it. Games. What games you playing, you bastard? Yeah. Jordan, what games are you playing? Or have you been playing?
I can't wait to listen back to this podcast and find out what noise you actually put there.
Yeah.
So I finished a couple of games. So obviously with me moving recently, I've been without Tinternet.
Oh, not
so kind of
Tindernet, though.
Got plenty of that. But yeah, in preparation, I was kind of looking at my PlayStation, thinking, right, okay, what do I want to have downloaded to make sure that I've got stuff to play. I ended up playing a lot of Blasphemous, which I talked about on the last show a couple of weeks ago. I was kind of like halfway through it then. I finished that since.
Ooh.
Don't want to repeat myself too much. My view hasn't changed at all since last time. I was very positive on it. I still am. An exceptionally good one of those, whether you want to look at it as a Metroidvania or a Souls-like. It's actually both in a cool package. Really dark. Very little sense of humor, if any. I don't think there was a single joke that I found in the entire game. All around kind of Spanish Catholicism, and just some really good kind of exploration platforming, 2D combat stuff. So really, really recommend that one. It seems to be a little bit under the radar. I'm not hearing a lot of people talking about it, so I'm hoping that it's selling okay.
I've heard some people say it's so like over the top gory and gruesome that it kind of has that, that's the jokey part.
Yeah, no, I don't think the game is nodding at anything. I think they're trying to be that macabre and that kind of self-serious, which is fine. But yeah, I heavily recommend that one for anybody that likes those kind of games. We're kind of spoiled for choice for them at the moment, and I didn't know about this one until maybe like a week or two before it was released. It's published by Team 17, which is a bit of an odd situation.
Worms.
Yeah. But yeah, I just recommend it. I don't need to speak at length about that. I spoke about it on the last podcast, and it's just another Metroidvania type game and a really bloody good one.
Any more coming out soon?
Probably. It seems like there's so much of that kind of thing. I have been playing Noiter as well, which is kind of in a, it's also a kind of a run-based rogue type game. Have you seen this one?
Noiter? No, I haven't.
Noiter, Noita, Noiter. So I've had my eye on it for a while. It's now on early access on Steam. 2D retro style graphics. The gimmick of this game is essentially that every single pixel is physically simulated. So if one of the pixels is a little brown piece of mud, it's gonna interact with water, or it'll get blown up easily. If it's a piece of coal and fire hits it, it's gonna burn, that kind of thing. And basically the levels are randomized. You need to get through the level, and you use kind of magic spells and things to interact with the environment and use the physical properties, sometimes to help you and sometimes to hinder you. And each time that you get to the end of a level, you get to kind of reset your health and that kind of stuff, and then go into the next stage. Really, really difficult. I found I've only got to like the third stage, but it's just cool. It's kind of like a physics experiment. I don't know if you ever played. Do you remember that Fallen Sand game, which was less of a game, just more of a little Java experiment thing?
No, but I used to play. I used to have something similar to that. That was it was like ragdoll physics thing that just fell. If it's like that.
So this thing I used to play on the web, and there was loads of different versions. It was basically like a rectangular arena, and from the top you could have sand falling in, but then the sand could have different physical properties. Like it could be like petroleum, or it could be lava and stuff like that, and they would all interact with each other in different physical ways. And this is basically that, but a proper platforming adventure game. It's this type of thing where if you need to get somewhere and you can't seem to find the way, you can just throw a few bombs and actually just blow up the environment and just make your way through. It's in early access at the moment, so you might just want to wait for it to get a final release, I guess, because it might be a little bit buggy. I haven't seen too many issues. I think it's one of those games where kind of it's pretty much done. They just want a bit of extra time to iron out the details.
Sounds interesting.
That was cool as well.
Hey, Jordan. Have you played? Because I think we'll mix it around like with the game rather than just like focus on. Well, have you played any of that duck game, the goose game?
I've not played the goose game yet.
Oh, are you going to play the goose game?
I might play the goose game. It looks pretty cool. I like the art style.
Yeah, it's really cheap.
I like how nasty the goose seems to be.
Yeah, you just get to play as a nasty bastard. I wonder.
Is there a reason why? Is it because his family are captured or something, or is he just a cunt?
I think you're a goose, so obviously you're a cunt.
You're a goose. Okay.
And geeses, they are cunts. So, have we had an article by Kotaku yet? How troubling the goose is, about how being an asshole is, forcing gamers to. It's like it's justifying epic gamer moments.
If not yet, then I'd expect it within the week.
Apparently you can't.
Oh, that's a bit of news about my personal life. Jason Schreier blocked me on Twitter. So that's something for us to keep in mind.
I actually went and blocked a couple of people, to be honest.
Oh.
I blocked Colin Moriarty.
Blocking Colin? Was Colin done to you?
Oh, people retweet him, and I'm like, no, I don't want to see his shitty views.
That's not his fault.
Yeah, so I blocked him. And then I blocked one of his stooges, that girl.
Oh, you're a transphobe. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And someone else got blocked. Might be Austin Walker, for balance. I don't know who it was, but somebody that was getting retweeted.
Two sides of the video game of Twitter.
I was like, no, it was balanced. So then I eventually, balance it out. And no, I just, obviously they're not saying anything to me, but it's like they get retweeted, and I'm like, I can't be bothered. I don't want to look at that. That's my good Twitter. My other Twitter is full of garbage.
Retweet Colin Moriarty, like who I would imagine that you follow.
Yeah, no, somebody did. Oh, they might have retweeted it with hey, look at this knob. But yeah, I'm not sure.
What has Colin said that is so upset you, Ben?
I don't know. I don't think he said. I think he just retweeted something that wasn't that offensive, and then I looked on his account and I saw him replying, and I was like, you're a dick. I'm just gonna delete him. He's deleted. He was cancelled a while ago, wasn't he? When he made made that sexist joke. What a sexist.
He did say a joke. Yeah.
Okay. Someone. I went on a little trip to London, taking people around, and one of the guys, it was this Polish guy, and I got the impression he was very, very right wing. And at one point, he made he was saying how great Brexit was going to be for the economy, and I was like, well, I can't say any economists agree with you. But then he went on to talk about then he told a joke that let's just say he wouldn't have got away with it if he'd been Colin Moriarty on Twitter and said it. And I was like, okay. Then? Oh, I can't remember. It was something about women in the kitchen or something like that. And I was like, okay. Okay, yeah. Maybe don't say that when all the other people on this trip are women. But yeah, a bit unusual. Yeah, it was a big yikes. I was like, because I'm like trying to be nice to this person. But then you've got to be like, I don't know, I was like, yeah, okay, ignored him. The goose is told asshole. Yeah, by the way, in the goose game, you can't drown any dogs. Because apparently that happened the other day. There was a dog trying to go up to a goose, and then the goose kept whacking it. And
is this real life?
Yeah.
Why are you telling me this?
And the dog died.
What the fuck are you telling me that for? I didn't want to know that.
Do you know another dog death story?
No!
It happened in Cardiff.
No!
Somebody got robbed, and then their dog got taken, and then the dog was found on the train tracks.
Jesus Christ, man.
So we've got to be extra careful with Artie, because we're in a nice neighborhood. We don't want anything like that happening. Luckily, I barely work, so there's always somebody at home. But yeah, the goose game anyway. But yeah, I'm enjoying the goose game. Apparently it's really short. I didn't actually finish. I got a little bit bored before I finished, which I know is not saying much, but it's all right. It's good. It's fun. You get to be a complete knob, and rips in the chest. I had the same reaction to that dog story, but I like it. But so when you go into an area, you can press a button and it comes up and tells you what things you've got to do. Some of them are are really inventive. Like one of them, you've got to this guy that looks like Mellum. No offense, Mellum, but he looks like you. You steal his toy plane, and then you go and take it. So you've got to get the boy to buy his own plane back. So you take it to this stall, because there's a woman's got this a knick-knack stall set up in the street, and then you go and put the toy on the ground near the woman. So the woman picks it up, puts it down on the table, and then the boy's like, hey, that's my plane. And the woman's like fuck it is. And you pay. And so he has to buy his own plane. He has to buy his own plane back, or toy back. And that's kind of fun. There is a bit of, so that's good, but there is a little bit of repetition. So in each area, you've got to grab a load of things and put them in a certain place. Like at the beginning, you've probably seen it on the gameplay. You have to have a picnic, and it's to steal quite some various things and then put them on this on the picnic blanket. Which the first time I thought that was really clever. You know, you're stealing all this food and the bits that you would have for a picnic, and then you have to go and put it on this blanket. It was great. But then every area has got something like that, and it's a little bit like, okay, a little bit annoying, because sometimes you'll go and get something and put it, and then all of it. So you've put a few things in an area. I don't want to give it away because I don't want any spoilers. But you have to put all this stuff, for example, in this object, and then a man goes by once you've got like 4 things there, and will start taking them, and you've got to go back. And there's a lot of stealth in it. There's a lot of kind of just running to and fro, hoping you don't get seen, because it can just reset your progress. But apart from, no, there is one other thing. Like, as I said before, when you're in an area, it comes up with the different things that you've got to do. I kind of wish they'd let you figure it out for yourself. If you just went in and then messed around, then every now and again, so if they had like 7 or 8 different objectives instead of 5 or 4, you know, they get a few extra ones. And so stuff like cause the boy to fall over, which isn't one, I don't think. But like, there are certain, I would kind of like a bit more free roam, and to unlock what you have to do just by chance or just by dicking around, instead of being like, okay, these are the 5 things I've got to do, and I'm going to go and spend a bit of time on this one, then I'm going to go to this one. I'd have liked to have just like kind of unlocked them by chance and looked at that area and gone, okay, how can I be a dick? And then have that ticked off. So I'd have kind of preferred that, rather than it just tell me what I had to do. And I think it might have added a bit of time to the game. Any questions, John?
I want to know, like, when you first boot up that game, does it give you like a little bit of, is there a little bit of text that contextualizes why this goose is on the rampage?
No, I don't think so. As far as I remember, though, no, the only thing that starts is like, okay, this is how to move, this is how to crouch, this is how to honk. So you can honk at people and make them jump and stuff. That's great. Yeah.
Have you finished it?
No, but I don't think I'm too far. I think I'm well over halfway. I'm in the beer. If anybody's finished it, I'm in the beer garden, which seems.
I'm just wondering if at the end of the game it becomes apparent why this goose was forced to do it. You know?
Yeah, I don't know if it doesn't seem like the type of game where there would be that, where it's just you finish it. Maybe. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it. Yeah, I wonder how do you finish the game? Like, what the end state is.
From what you're telling me, it sounds like it seems like it's level based, right?
Kind of. It's like Dark Souls. So you it's just like Dark Souls. So you go to an area, and then it unlocks access to the other area, and then to the other area. But then you can like unlock gates, so you can quickly access other areas. Oh,
so you can move between these different areas.
Yeah.
So if I've checked off all of the kind of the objectives in one area, do more objectives unlock later on, or is that pretty much done?
As far as I'm aware, no. Okay. But I think you don't need to.
What's the point of going back?
You don't need to unlock. You don't need to have ticked off all of them to progress. So I found that you could go to the next one when you've ticked off all but one. I've tried 100% each area before I've moved on, but yeah, no. So there's a little bit of frustration with some areas. Like there was one where there was a man and a woman in a garden, but I say it'd be cool for them to not have any information about what you have to do to piss people off. But some of it is very obscure, like it's help somebody with the decorating. And you're like, oh, what does it mean by help this person with the decorating? And you've got to kind of work out by that. Whereas some are a little bit more explicit, which is like, create a soup. Put all this stuff in this area.
Which version did you play?
I'm playing the Switch version. And it runs very, very well. Gotta say,
I'll tell you a game that doesn't run well on Switch, Ben.
Oh, go on. But yeah, Goose Game, I'll try and finish it in the next week because I'm trying to focus on games to actually finish. So that will be done. But yeah, tell me a game that I heard does not run well.
I'll tell you a game that doesn't run well on Switch, Ben. The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening.
But it's such an old game, John. How can they not have...
I don't know. And this is published by Nintendo, but it's not made by Nintendo. I think it's made by the same people that did. What was there was some recent remaster or remake for Nintendo. What would that have been?
Pokemon Let's Go.
No, you're wrong. But I'll work out what that is. But basically, they've worked with Nintendo before. Um, I've played the Game Boy version of this game, so I'm fairly familiar at least with the start of it. It's one of those top-down Zelda games, which I think a lot of people, including myself, start countless times and never really finish. Um, from what I can tell and from what I've heard people say, it's pretty much like for like. You know, the graphical style is obviously completely updated. And the only other major difference is that instead of it being screen-based, so kind of traditional old-school top-down Zelda, you get to the top or the left or the right, you get to the edge of a screen, the screen then transitions to another, so it's kind of, a square-based grid map.
Like Celeste.
Yes, kind of, except top-down. And whereas this is just a rolling world, so it's, you just the camera just kind of moves with you as you go. So obviously that's a little bit more taxing, but at the end of the day, this is just a glossy coat of paint put on an old school game. And as much as the graphical style is nice, I can't see why it's pushing anything. Like if you think how well Super Mario Odyssey ran, I'm just really surprised they'd allow this game and a Zelda game at that to come out in this state. Like it's not absolutely ridiculous, but you like, and I'm not even that sensitive to kind of frame rate issues. I really don't mind a game running at 30 frames. That's absolutely fine as long as it's like a consistent 30 frames a second. But this just isn't. I think at some points it's running at 60, other points it's running at 30. Sometimes it's sub 30. When you're exiting, a dungeon and go back into the world, it staggers for a little bit. Just doesn't. It's just really missing that kind of that Nintendo level of sheen. And for me, considering this is like a 50 quid game, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, do you think it's worth 50 quid or wait till the sale?
Well, this is the thing. Like, a lot of people point to Nintendo games, especially when they remaster or port them over from previous console generations and then charge full price. A lot of people, and probably quite rightly, point to that and say, actually, is that right? Should that pricing be like that? But at the end of the day, the market decides, and if people are happy to buy it at that price, which they seem to be, because all of these games sell very well, then who's to argue with it? But the way that I've always justified that to myself is that there always seems to be this really high level of Nintendo presentation that comes along with these games. So even if we might not be getting something that is as cutting edge as what you're seeing on the PC or on the PS4 or whatever else, but it's still got this kind of love and care and attention that's poured into it. And to see a game released in this state, like I said, especially a Zelda game, really puzzles me. Like, I'm not a game developer, but I just really can't understand the development decisions that happen for this game to be released in this poor state, I guess.
I've heard it's the same like on the Switch Lite, and when it's docked and when it's in handheld, like it's the game. It's not the power. Like, it's not the console.
No, yeah,
power.
totally. Like, again, I'm completely a layman when it comes to games development, but I definitely, yeah. Well, there's better looking games that run a lot better on the Switch, so it just doesn't, it doesn't make sense. Whatever's taxing it, I think they should have had other priorities, because it's just odd to see a game that looks like that.
Hagabis says, does it feel like a 3DS game scaled up? Or can you feel it? Does it feel like an actual Switch, like a full generation, whatever, we're on game?
Well, the original game was an original Game Boy game, so I don't know. I found that a difficult question to answer. Like, yeah, you could imagine this game running on 3DS, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I can't see a reason why you couldn't. But the fact that it's struggling on the Switch tells me that actually you couldn't, which again I would suggest is down to the development of the game versus the actual power of the consoles, because there's nothing that I can see that should be all that taxing.
That's a pity. What do you think of the way? Because you were really put off by the art styles. Are you still put off by the art style?
I'm disappointed by the art style. I think like this, the game has always kicked off with this little animated intro that shows Link getting marooned and waking up on the island. And the original one, that was like a early to mid 90s game on the Game Boy. And the animation style was very much kind of like Saturday morning cartoon type thing, which at the time, kids' cartoons are pretty dark. I've always quite liked their aesthetic. And then when we were watching that that Nintendo Direct and it was clear that they were doing a Link's Awakening, I was like, oh, cool. Is this going to be this kind of? Is it going to have this dark art style and whatever else? And it hasn't. It's got this this really cutesy, chibi type art style. Almost looks like the characters are made out of kind of clay, and it's really nice and it's really cohesive. There's nothing wrong with it. It just isn't my preference. And if it ran a bit smoother, I'd probably enjoy it a little bit more.
Interesting. I think I would like to play it because I've never played Link's Awakening like the original, and I would like to play it, but I think I'll wait for this to be, I'll say, in the sale. I think Nintendo started actually doing some sales on Nintendo Shop online.
Yeah, man, the eStore's pretty good. Like I routinely check the I forget what it's called, like on offer tab or whatever it is. Like right now, there's some really good sales happening for a lot of games, so I would definitely check that out.
Indeed. Hagape says Nintendo will bend their backs over if that's what it takes for a game to come out the way they wanted. What do you mean? So that you'll, like, if it was them doing it? It's still bummed it seems they're giving the cheap treatment to Pokemon. I suppose, well, Pokemon's made by that game. Is it Game Company? It's called something like that.
Game Company, yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, they're different. Yeah, but those are the guys that just, like, stick to what they know. Game Freak, that's it. What's that game company? Something else.
Oh, that Game Company is Flower and...
oh, yeah. The one, Journey.
Journey.
Yeah. Game Freak, sorry. Stupid name. Is Zelda a full price game? It is, Rob. 50 English
£50. So I already had like £15 in my wallet for some reason.
Yeah,
so
I the other day I was
sweeten the deal a little bit, but not really. You know, it's still money.
I got a free game the other day because of that. By the way, have you got Overcooked 2?
No.
Oh, I should get Overcooked 2 because we can play it online on Nintendo and we can play Overcooked 2.
Yeah, we could, Ben.
Yeah. Okay, because I got it on Switch now. Other game I played, another little indie game, not just Untitled Goose Game, but I've played a game called Sayonara. I can't ever say it because there's someone in the chat called Sayonara, and I keep wanting to say Sayonara Wild Hearts. But yeah, Sayonara Wild Hearts, which is think of an album, like a pop album, popular with kind of people who are into anime and all that kind of stuff, and making a game around it. So every track is a level, and every level has its own kind of unique flow, whether you're, I don't want to give it all away, but you might be on a motorbike, or you might be shooting something, or you might be escaping from something. It's all got its own kind of style, so artistic styles kind of, but also its own gameplay style. And yeah, it's freaking amazing. I love it. It's very interesting. Like the start, it's like, oh, this person's got heartbreak, and there's some zodiac signs or some what's it called with the reading the cards? What's it called when you're reading tarot cards?
Astrology.
That's it. Yeah, there's some astrology in there, so it's not a scientific game. But yeah, you go into it straight away. It's kind of easy, but you don't want this game to be difficult. You can get from the start to finish in 90 minutes, so it's quite fast if you're just going, to finish each level, which is not really what they're going for. They want you to get all the high scores, and I'm sure they're going to be like adding bits and bobs. And there's something that unlocks at the end, which that's got some like riddles, which I'm not sure what that's all about. But yeah, so you can just go through it in an hour and a half. Every level, the music's pretty awesome. You just kind of, you get absorbed in it, and it is voiced over by Queen Latifah.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Like, I recognized the voice a bit when it was playing. I'm like, oh, that's a recognizable voice. Or she's got a really kind of unique and powerful voice. And then at the end, it was like voiced by Queen Latifah. And I was like, holy shit, of course it was. Yeah. Hagapace has just gone, wait, what? Yeah, Queen Latifah, she does the narration in it, which, like, the narration in that game is interesting. It's not a story that I really care about, but obviously it's not like that deep. But it just adds a nice kind of reason to why you're doing these things. So you're going through all these levels, and at the end you break the hearts of these evil biker gang. And then I'm not going to spoil the ending because I want people to play it, but let's say the ending is very wholesome. And also she's a lesbian. So it's a very gay game. For the gay guys, you've got Queen Latifah, and for the gay women, you've got pretty much the entire game. So, yeah, It's brilliant. It is on Apple Arcade, so if you've got Apple Arcade, you can play it. I've got it on PS4 because I wanted to play it in 4K downstairs, and it looks stunning on there. And also,
I think it's on everything. Is it?
Yeah.
Is it on PC?
It is. It's on. I think it's on Epic Store.
Of course it is. Is it on Xbox?
That's one I've not seen. So Wild Hearts. It is on. Let's see. Why is it not show? Why is I need to put wiki. There we go. Okay, no, it looks like it doesn't have one. But yeah, it is on PS4, Switch, Apple Arcade. Okay, it's not on. Okay, no, I lied. It's not on PC.
Okay, so it's not on PC or Xbox, but it's on everything else. Like, yeah, I've played the first level of it, and I played that on my phone with Apple Arcade. It seemed really nice. I've heard that the way to play it is probably on a console with a controller.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to give, I had an Apple Arcade subscription, so I just wanted to see something. So I tried a level of that, and I'll definitely get through it at some point. You tell me it's pretty short, so
yeah, it's like an hour and a half.
An hour or two into it tomorrow. Yeah, cool.
It's really good, and yeah, because
Does it seem like you would replay it? Like, is it, from the first level that I played, like you're basically collecting like orbs or whatever.
That's right.
Like
yeah,
I missed a lot of those. Like,
does
it seem worth replaying for that stuff?
Yeah, like apparently, if you get A grade, I think it's a rank A in all of them, then you get you unlock something.
Ah, there you go.
But it like because every level's so fast, except for like one or two, because every level's so fast, you can just keep replaying it. And it's a game that I'm gonna like dip in and out, and also like Dave really enjoyed it. He played a few levels. I was like, come play one level, and I think he played about 4 or 5, which is, if he plays a little bit of a game, it's great. But it's also another cool game. Like if a friend comes over that's maybe not that into games and we're just chilling or something, I'll be like, hey, let's play a couple of levels of this. Let me show you a couple of levels. And
yeah, it's always nice to see, like, especially people that don't know video games. It's always nice for them to see something like that.
Yeah, it's visually and audio orally. AUR.
I just like to challenge their expectations on what a video game is, really.
Yeah.
They're probably thinking, oh, it's Mario, it's Call of Duty, it's Fortnite, and then you're like, actually, look at this art piece.
Yeah, and Dave and I, we love those type of games. So Res Infinite, Tetris Effect, and this, like games that are just visually and orally pleasing.
We might have something in the news about that a little later.
Oh, really? Oh, yes, that is true. Yeah. Okay, but yeah. So Sayonara Wild Hearts, it's cheap. It's quite quick, but it is a lot of fun. It's definitely going to be in my top 10 for the year so far. It's just I love it. It's so much fun. And the music's pretty good.
You can, I bet. Is the soundtrack on Spotify?
Sayonara Wild Hearts, I imagine it would be.
Yeah, you'd think they'd just released that as an album, right? Because like reading the developer, like he or she, what I read was that they basically set out to write a pop album and then put a game alongside it.
Yeah,
so
it is.
I
It's
wouldn't
all
be surprised if that's all
available actually up to 26. It's weird because the first song is Claire de Lune, which is not even the original. I was like, oh, this is. I wasn't quite expecting them to go the first song and the first level be a non-original song, but I'm pretty sure all the other ones are. But yeah, I would definitely play, and especially the end is such a wholesome ending. And like when a game comes full circle and right at the end, it just finishes perfectly. Leaves you with a happy feeling. Recommend playing that. I'm just playing in one go though, with headphones on, preferably a screen as big as possible. Just
yeah, that's why I feel like I'm kind of missing on the phone. Like the Apple Arcade stuff, we could probably talk about that for a sec. The Apple Arcade stuff is really cool. It's $4.99 a month for seemingly a lot of games. And the games on there, like the ones that I've tried, they seem to be of a certain level of quality. It's as if Apple are trying to autocorrect kind of, or course correct, the mess that they've made of the mobile video game landscape over the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Because it's difficult to find a good mobile game, I would argue. Sometimes you get the odd thing that's kind of ported over from console or something, which is a bit more of a substantive experience. But all of these games seem pretty good, and certainly that one looks incredible on my iPhone. So I'll be interested to see how that kind of storefront plays out over next year.
I'm not somebody that cares about my work phone. Like I've got a Samsung S10. It's great. I love it and stuff. But next time I'm upgrading, if it's either the S12 or the new Apple iPhone, I might like this, the fact that there are so many of these good full mobile games that have no microtransactions and like a real healthy and some exclusives in there makes me really tempted to make the switch next time. Like this, I don't have any kind of real preference. I'm not one of those like, oh my god, you got an iPhone, what a sheep, and all this stuff. You know, Apple does its
It's
own
all
thing.
pretty much the same thing
Yeah.
at this point. You know, it's all big screens, no buttons. You know,
Yeah,
it's the same
and they
thing.
all look the same nowadays, all the phones. So I'll like it's making me think. Hey, I all I do with my phone is I look on Twitter, I look on Reddit, I Twitch occasionally, and like Instagram, and listen to podcasts. And you can do all of that easily on the iPhone, and then there's the possibility of playing some decent games for £5 a month or $5 a month. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not next? But I'm not upgrading for a couple of years, so I'll wait. So I'm sure the Apple Arcade will have quite a few extra things like that. After,
Indeed.
is it available on anything that somebody like me who doesn't have any Apple product would be able to
Well, if
play?
you've got no Apple products, no. But
So you can't play it
I
on
think,
iTunes through iTunes on my PC.
Stranger from the
I
outside.
don't think so. No, I think, like closest you get to that is probably an Apple TV.
Okay, what's an Apple TV?
You know, just something you plug into your TV to watch Netflix and stuff.
Oh, like Google Chrome, Chromecast thing.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, maybe I'll have a look at that one day. But I've got Stadia coming for that. So anyway, yeah. I mean, there aren't any games that are exclusive on the Apple Arcade. So yeah.
I have a very great friend in Rome called BiggusBennus.
Okay, so I've got a
15
few
popular.
alerts going off, but Jordan, what else? I want you to tell me how amazing Fire Emblem Three Houses is, because that's my
Give me
next
some
game
of
once
that
I
man
finished
juice.
once I finish the wonderful Astral Chain, which I'll talk about in a minute.
Oh, you're gonna go back to it, are you?
Which one?
I thought you already started Fire Emblem.
Oh yeah, and I'm going to be at home over Christmas with just my Switch, and I'm thinking that Fire Emblem's going to be the one I play while I'm stuck with no streaming ability over any other consoles.
Mm. Well, yeah, it's definitely a good option if you're if you're without the internet, and there's just so much content in that game. So I finished it today. I got to one of the endings from listening to some like Nintendo centric podcasts. Like some of the people that are really into this game have already finished it like 4 times.
Yeah.
You've got 3, like the name suggests, 3 houses. You've got 3 separate houses in the game, so you know there's definitely a replayability element there if you want to do the 3 separate houses. And then from what I can tell, there's different endings and things as well. There's a lot of different kind of narrative paths with these games, and obviously lots of different characters who can die at any time and all this kind of stuff. So you know, if for anybody that wants it, I think there's a hell of a lot of content. You know, I would imagine the hardcore are putting hundreds of hours into it. I've played it for about 60 hours. And the kind of latter third of the game, I really put my foot on the pedal and stopped kind of, you know, there's a lot of busy work you can do in this game and a lot of micromanagement.
Yeah.
I just didn't feel like I hit the 50-hour mark, and I got to this time jump that happens in the game, which a lot of people have described as the midway point. And I was like, I'm not putting enough 50 hours into this. So I really need to speed things up. So instead of, I stopped kind of walking around the school, talking to people manually, and I stopped, you can manually give lessons to your students to upgrade them things, but all of that stuff you can do on autopilot. And I stopped doing like extra missions and things like that as well. I just literally targeted the main campaign missions and kind of got through the second half of the game in about 10 hours.
Okay.
Super good, so much content, so well put together. One criticism that's been thrown in the game is that it's very easy, and
Yeah, I've
especially for
heard
this
that.
kind of game, like a pretty serious like strategy RPG. That's quite surprising. There are more difficult modes that you can play, and there's one that's just been added as well. Which makes it super hard. For me, the difficulty, like for most of it, it did feel super easy. It almost felt like it was just more me playing with soldiers, like toy soldiers on a field, and I was never really at risk of losing. And if somebody died, you can always rewind time anyway. But there were a couple of levels which really then ramped up the difficulty, so it kind of felt like a spike as opposed to like a natural curve, which was a little frustrating. But again, worst case scenario, you just reload the save at the start of the level, or you can literally lose the level, press L2, and just go back to at whatever point of the level that you want. So it kind of it never really punishes you all that much. But yeah, I loved it. It's my first Fire Emblem game. I was really looking forward to it. It's absolutely going to be in my top 10, if not top 5 for the year. And I'm just really impressed by the amount of content that so much of it I haven't even seen, but it's clearly there because I know from the decisions that I made and what I saw that there must be at least 2 or 3 other variants of this game, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Do you feel like you know
yeah,
how long did it take you to kind of know all the characters? Because that's the thing.
I couldn't name 5. Like
wow.
I'm not great with that stuff anyway. I just kind of honed in on the characters that I did like.
Yeah.
Like
were they all the ladies?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, all the fit ladies. I got to the end of the game, and like it'll ask you like, who do you want to spend the rest of your life with? And clearly, I hadn't chatted anybody up enough because there was no option. But a lot of my people died as well. Like as I got towards the end of the game, whereas like in the earlier parts of the game, if somebody died, I would make sure I'd rewind time and save them. Like towards the end, if it happened in a really dramatic way, I was kind of happy for them to die.
I feel that
by the end, I had like 3 people left.
I feel it's like permadeath and they die and stuff, and then like they're not like, oh my god, so and so's dead. It's just like, oh okay, guess we carry on.
So I think I mentioned on the like maybe a couple of shows ago that
maybe it's you actually.
I'm playing with permadeath, and I let one person die in the early goings of the game, and they kind of left the battle. It sounded like they were retreating, and then they were still in the school, but I couldn't select them for the next battle. So I think what the case is, until you get to that time switch,
okay,
they don't actually die.
Oh, all right. Was that person available later then, or?
Well, I reloaded the game because I was like, I'd let them die, but actually they didn't die. I was like, well, that seems silly, so I'm just going to reload it. But yeah, I assume they would have been.
Yeah.
They were walking around the school, but once I got to that midway point, when people basically somebody can die, and if they lay down on the ground and disappear, and if they say like, oh well, I don't know, you can just tell from what they're saying that they're dead. They are literally dead. There are some characters, and I think maybe in the first half of the game, all characters just won't die in that way, or at least some are protected. If the game knows that they're central to the story, I guess then they're just not going to let them die. They retreat as opposed to dying. But yeah, I was left with I had 3 characters left. And including my own character at the end.
Jeez. Does it like make a big difference if they die? Like, does something happen in like a narrative way?
No, like they just won't be there for cutscenes and things. But yeah, they get there's no way the game could cater to that at any point that the character could die. They just give a little speech and then they're gone. But obviously, it makes it depending on how many. The first half of the game is you basically recruiting other students.
Yeah.
So if you don't take enough into that second half, at that point the recruiting process stops. So if you haven't got enough characters, then potentially you're fucked. Yeah.
Yeah, you could be really screwed, couldn't you?
Absolutely, yeah. So the last level for me, I had to go in with 4 characters, and it was I really had to take my time with it. My main character became a real tank, and she was just basically doing all of the fighting. Everybody else was just supporting her anyway. But yeah, you could kind of like you can take 10 people into battle. I went into that last one with myself and three other characters. So yeah, you could potentially go in just yourself, and then you'd be in real peril.
I'm thinking of restarting it. Like I'm going to play it off stream. Would you recommend permadeath? I'm definitely going to go for permadeath because I think that makes it more exciting. But would you recommend it on easy or on hard?
I forget I played it on normal, which I think that is that is the base setting. I think.
Is it? Yeah, I'm not
sure. I might be wrong. I'm not sure.
I thought it was maybe normal. I thought it was maybe easy and normal, and then normal. Then you unlocks hard mode later or something.
Potentially, I don't think you'll need easy because the game just like I said just doesn't punish you. You can multiple like maybe 8 times per game. Yeah. You can rewind time right the way to the back, right the way to the start of the battle.
Yeah. Oh so, yeah, it's normal normal or hard, and then classic or casual. So I'll probably go like classic, normal.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would do. Yeah, that's what I did, and like I said, really not punishing at all. It was to the point where, like I said, in the latter half of the game, I was almost like, okay, I can see that this character is probably going to die, but that's cool. That makes sense for this story. That character's going to die, and I'm not going to rewind the time. But realistically, I probably could have ended that game with all of my characters intact.
Yeah, I think I'll just do that and hopefully, maybe I won't have finished it by Christmas, but I'll definitely have a good go over it because we always do our top 10 usually at the beginning of January, don't we? Or right at the very end of the year. Probably going to be right at the end of the year again this year because I'm going to be away with my parents until like the 27th. So sometime after that.
I think I'm going to sit down later and pump up my current top 10.
Oof. That's what you call it. These are my top 10. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I have no idea. This year, so far, nice little segue. So far, I think a very strong contender for my number one is Astral Chain. So Astral Chain is just so much freaking fun. For me, the number one thing about Astral Chain is not just the style. The style's like a close second, but number one is going to be the gameplay. So you're this super cyber cop in a post-apocalyptic kind of no, I won't say cyberpunk, but just a sci-fi future where you're in charge of these like mechs type thing. Well, a mech's when you climb into, isn't it? But Astral Chain, yeah. So you've got these legions, they're called, which are different. They've all got a different play style. Like one's good for ranged, one's a dog style, another one's just like a general sword cutting one. There's one you can actually get inside like a mech, and there's one that I haven't actually got yet, and there's another one which I'm not going to just waste, and it's not going to tell everybody all the different ones, even though right at the very beginning you do see them all, but you get them later on in the game. It's just so much fun. Like the combat is really, you can just bash buttons if you want and win, especially on like normal mode. I think I'm on normal or easy or something like this, which I'd recommend, to be honest, because it's just like the story itself is fine. It's a lot more linear than I was expecting. I don't know if anyone's played it in the chat, but you go, okay, there's different chapters. You start the chapter, it leads you along, and you go from one place to another. You might go to the same areas again. Like there's like a hub area, like a central, like a Times Square type map, and you can go around and do little side missions. And when I say little side missions, I'm like, there's a child that's dropped their ice cream, so you go and buy an ice cream, and then you have to kind of, with motion controls, hold the ice cream and carry it back to the child, which I dropped nearly the whole ice cream except for one little ball, but the child was happy with that. So there's these like little mini missions that you can do to get some points that will eventually help you. I think those side missions help you level up your legions. The missions get a lot longer as you go on. Like the first mission I did, or the second at least, they were 30 minutes maximum. Now my missions are taking about 3 hours per mission because I'm doing quite a lot of the side stuff. I can't believe, like, at the end of every mission, it tells you how many of the side missions you've missed. And the last one I did, I went out of my way to kind of look in every little nook and cranny, and even like I was surprised once I went back to try and find a potion, and when I was looking for a potion, like I got sucked into this wormhole type thing and got sent to the ether, or like the other side, the astral plane it's called. And I think it's called the astral plane, or is that in Control? I don't know. But I think it's the
I think it is the astral plane, yeah.
Yeah, I went there and fought like had a bit of a wave-based kind of boss battle and unlock something. And yeah, because I was following a police officer at one point, and then like trying to find out what happened to him, and then it just kind of let me move on. And then I was like, oh, okay, that's weird. Maybe it'll solve that mystery at the end. But no, I had to go and like do this. It was actually a side quest, and ended up fighting and finding him in the end. But it's just like, then it got to the end of so yeah, I spent like 3 hours going through this. There was twists and turns and like some action sequences that were straight out of Uncharted style, like huge things smashing, falling apart as I'm running and escaping with my legion that I'm having to use to help me escape from this building that's collapsing. And like right at the end, I missed like a quarter of the side missions. There was like, oh, there was 18 missions or so in this, and you did 12. Or yeah, there's so much replayability in these missions, even though I'm nowhere near. Like I haven't even finished the game. I'm on chapter or file 7, and I've heard that there are 11, and there might be a secret 12th one. And apparently the end game is epic. What's her name? Laura Kate Dale. She's finished the game, but I think she said that she's on like there are 70 side missions or 70 things to do after you finish the game. So I don't know how many of those are repeating and how many of those are just like end game stuff, but I need to find out. But I'm like there's so much to do, but just the variety you've got with each legion that does so many various things. You get into a rhythm when you start battling as well, which I think is what happened with you, John, where you stopped playing for a while and then you kind of lost the rhythm. And for me, it took me a few moments, because there's something like when you're battling, if you whack the enemy quite a few times, you'll get an audio cue and a slight visual cue to do like a finishing move, or not a finishing move, but to do an extra crit attack with your legion. And for about half an hour, I was like, I can't remember what button I had to press. And then I remembered later on, some muscle memory worked, and it was like the L2 and R2 button, or the ZR and ZL buttons together. And like, so yeah, there are things that, yeah, if you're not playing this quite regularly, you might forget how to play it. But once you've got a rhythm and you've got a style, and okay, so I go in there with my legion, I tie up the enemy, which stops them, binds them for a bit. Then I can just whack them and button mash. Which, yeah, I'm just having so much fun with. Every time I play it, it's just like a really, really fun video game in the same way that I really enjoyed Devil May Cry. Although the new Devil May Cry, which is a really good game, it's great, but I just still think there's a lot more variety, and it's a proper RPG as well as the Astral Chain, because you're leveling. There's like there's an ability tree, but it's weird because for every legion you've got a tree that you can unlock certain nodes, and then some nodes just improve the defense or the attack, where there's some nodes that unlock abilities that you then attach later. There's some nodes that unlock an extra ability slot for it that you can add. Yeah. And Haga says, yeah, the chain mechanics are really impressive. Yeah, using the chain to kind of catapult enemies that are rushing, or to tie them up, or there's something else that I did recently, which was pretty awesome. But no, I can't speak more highly of it. And just even talking about it now is making me want to play it again. And yeah, like I said, there's a good reason why this is currently my probably top 2. I need to think which one.
No, I agree completely. The game's great,
and the music's amazing.
The music's really good. It's a super stylish game. It's so slick. It's the type of game where I'm typically I'll try to remove as many HUD elements as I can without making the game impossible to play. This one, I'm just happy with the way that it looks. It's just super slick, super stylish.
It runs really well as well.
Sounds really good. Yeah.
You're talking about Link's Awakening, about how that doesn't run.
Yeah, how this game runs the way that it does in Link's Awakening can't fucking run. I'll have no idea.
Yeah, because I've been playing in docked mode pretty much the entire time, and then I just played like 10 minutes in handheld. I was like, geez, look the quality of this game in handheld mode. Yeah, kind of surprised me, but yeah, I'm loving that. I can't wait to see what the end game's like as well. And I like the story. I know some people are like, the story's nothing to write home about, but the side missions are really weird and quirky in like a Yakuza, maybe not Yakuza perverted style, but just in go and buy this person ice cream, or this child's mother has run off and just left it, and you have to kind of find where they are, and there's all these people just beating up this homeless guy. So yeah, it reminds me with the side quests. They're very, very, very short, and like they don't detract from the story, so you can't just go and you can go and do all the little side missions in an area within 10 minutes if you want to really do them. But yeah, every mission, I love that every mission's got a start and a finish. It's not kind of open world where you can just go off and do random things. It is taking you from place to place, and it does, like I said, in parts it does feel like it's as cinematic as an Uncharted game. Later on, especially. Haga says chapter based. It is chapter based. Yeah, there are. I think there are 11, and then there's one like epilogue. I don't know if the 12th one is an epilogue or a secret one, or maybe 11 is the epilogue and then 12 is a secret one, or maybe that's what happens if you complete everything on S rank or whatever. But I'm looking forward, once I finish it, I might play it on a harder difficulty where they start grading your levels and just see if I'd be any good under pressure or with a bit of difficulty, because I've been destroying things, although I've just enjoyed it because it's been, God, yeah, like my fingers ache from fighting when it's on easy mode, so God knows how it'd be like if it was more difficult. Yeah. Are you going to be going back to it, Jordan?
Yeah, I really should. especially like if you know if it's looking like it's going to be pretty high in your ratings. Yeah, I'm going to need the ammo to shoot you down a bit, I guess. So yeah,
Yeah, this
It's
is
probably
gonna.
good. But from what I've played, I've really liked. I'm just kind of sick of my Switch at the moment because I've just pummeled through Fire Emblem quite a bit, so I'm kind of looking to play other things. I'm just so looking forward to Destiny next week.
Oh
that,
yeah, me
That's
too.
the only thing I'm kind of really that focused on, to be honest.
I booked a day off work. I'm off work on Wednesday just to blast through it because it's out on Tuesday evening, which is great because I've only got work early afternoon and I can play it until the early hours, then sleep, get back on it, and go for that grind.
So hype. Just to be clear, so I've moved everything over to my Steam account, right?
Mhm.
And at some point during that process, it did ask me about PlayStation ID. Is my PlayStation character going to be there for me?
No. Well, did you choose which one? Which one did you choose?
Is there a way for me to choose the PlayStation one? Is it possible for me to play my PlayStation character on Steam?
Oh yeah. However, you would lose your PC one.
I don't care about the PC one.
Oh, okay, yeah, do that then. Yeah, you just choose. That's not on the transfer. That is on the cross save.
Yeah.
So yeah, go on to.
At some point, Bungie.net was asking me about PlayStation, and I selected my character from the PlayStation.
Oh, maybe
version.
that is then. I would test it.
So
Although,
I can't yet.
yeah, unless you got it on Bungie.
Could I test it on BattleNet?
Yeah, you can test it on BattleNet now because it's cross-play already.
Cool. I'm gonna do that then. I'm gonna I have to re-download Destiny. I deleted it. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna re-download Destiny on BattleNet to see if my. Oh no, I'll just wait. I'll just fucking wait and see what happens. If needs be, I'll start a new character. But I just really like my PlayStation one because it's got that. They've got that the hand cannon, which is I can't remember what it's called, but basically like when you shoot somebody, they burst into light and it destroys other people around it.
Huh. Interesting. I think I got a like a P. It's weird because I went and selected my PC character, even though I'm a bit annoyed because I had a couple of really good emotes on my PS4 one that I still haven't got on the PC yet. But like when I logged in on my PS4, because then I started playing on PS4, apart from getting every single trophy bar one, so I'm that close away to getting a platinum, and I just need to do a raid on Prestige, which is going to be piss easy, so I can get that platinum. I'm probably going to get that when I've got a group of people that fancy doing it with me. But yeah, as soon as that happened, then I was like, oh, go to the postmaster, and it seems that there is I think it's a PS4 pre-order exclusive item or something, because I got a sword that I couldn't remember ever seeing. But then I tried to, when I had it equipped on my PC character, it says something like requires something. So yeah, it seems I didn't realize there were any more PS4 exclusive items, but this might be a pre-order one that's, I don't know. Maybe when maybe the 1st of October happens, all of that gets unlocked. So Rob says, Ben, this is interesting. So it's kind of linked in. Rob says, Ben, you need to find me the best deal on Destiny 2. Rob, you cannot actually buy Destiny 2 on PC. It is impossible to buy, and it has been impossible apparently for 2 weeks. And get it preloaded on Steam, because even though you've not bought it, you can get it preloaded on Steam right now. Every single person with Steam can preload Destiny 2. But yeah, apparently it's not been available to buy.
You can buy Shadowkeep, right?
You can, but even if you go to your library, you should be able to preload Destiny 2, even if you don't have it. Because it's coming free to play. Well, the base game is free to play from 1st of October.
So
yeah,
if you don't buy anything and just load it up on Steam for the first time, what have you got access
to? You've got access to the base campaign, Warmind, and the 2 DLCs, the one that's set on Mars and the one on Mercury. But you also
Forsaken?
Not Forsaken, no. Forsaken, but they're making Forsaken and Shadowkeep like optional extras. So you can still, like, when you log in, your character, once you've done like the opening mission, not the whole campaign, but just the opening mission, you'll get thrown in with a level 750 character. It'll probably all green stuff at 750, and you won't have any, the things that people have been grinding for years now, months and years to unlock. But you will be able to pretty much go in. You'll be on a level playing field. Everybody on the 1st of October, no matter if they've just downloaded the game for the first time or they've been playing for a while, they'll all be at 750.
Yeah.
Which is going to be weird for a bit. But yeah, so like Rob could download it and he can join in and do the whole campaign with us if he wants to play Shadowkeep. But apparently, yeah, the campaign's going to be optional.
I just can't wait to jump back in. I've just got
So
so much
good.
love for Bungie now that they're kind of unshackled from Activision. Everything that they've done, I've enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of the kind of moves that they made to the game and just making it feel like it's more of a living game versus, we're going to release a big game and then a couple of DLCs. Definitely feels like this is going to be more of a ongoing MMO type experience.
Yeah, there's a few things they've announced that's I can't remember, but like they came out with another like list of, oh hey, these are all the other things that we're changing, and I went through it and I was like, that's a good idea, that's a good idea, that's a good idea, that's a good idea. So I'm gonna be looking forward to seeing 69 hours until Shadowkeep. Oh no, it's a lot less than that now. But yeah, great. Looking forward to it. Great game to move from Borderlands 3 on. Oh yeah, I think Rob switching from Borderlands 3 to Destiny will be a bit of an improvement. It plays very, very well on PC, does Destiny. I was getting 160 odd FPS on Ultra. All right, we've been playing a couple. Just before we move on, I know we've got quite a long podcast here already, but that's fine. We've both been playing a couple of Final Fantasy games. Just very quickly, I've been playing Final Fantasy 14. I finally got through Stormblood, which was the expansion that came out before last. I really got into the story, and like someone said that Shadowkeep, the story is phenomenal, and I got to say that the patch missions between Stormblood and Shadowbringers is like really does like that itself is really good. Absorbs you into the story. You find out, it sets up the expansion really, really well. And I've played maybe 6 or 7 hours of Shadowbringers, and oh my god, it's perfect. It's Jordan.
Yes, Ben.
When you start a typical RPG, like a typical epically amazing RPG, and you kind of outside somewhere, and you suddenly like you wake up, and then there's a person there, and he kind of goes, "Hey, you should go over in this direction," and then you go, and then you experience, you look around at the beauty, and like, wow, this place is amazing, and then you get to the city, and then it's pretty much that. It's like a Final Fantasy. So far, it's felt like a brand new Final Fantasy game. Like it's interesting, like the dude who you meet right at the very, very beginning of the game. I'm pretty sure he's in there, or it's the same, or somebody very similar in the character. But yeah, I'm absolutely loving Final Fantasy 14 Shadowbringers. I haven't got too far into it, but the story has totally grabbed me. It, like somebody says, it doesn't feel like an MMO RPG now. It feels like a typical Final Fantasy game or just an epic RPG so far. And it's got branching storylines, which is interesting. I mean, I think they come together later on, but you can pretty much choose which direction to go at the start. And like, yeah. So I'll tell you one, just very quick, one of the story things I went up to. I had to go to a place, and I think it's based on, I don't know, it's like a Studio Ghibli style area. So you go to this place, and there's all these poor people outside, and they're desperate to get into this floating island, which is pretty much like a giant palace or a castle. And then you've got to kind of find a way in there. And while you're in there, you find like all these really crazy things going on. And yeah, it's like something out of a Studio Ghibli game. And then I went to the other branching storyline. And I'm not going to say anything, but there's something that's like a horror movie. Like this beautiful, sweet young girl transforms into this monster, like in a Kojima style, blood and like stuff dripping from her face, and then transforms into this beast. And yeah, that was really disturbing. So yeah, like when you get there eventually, Jordan, you're in for a treat.
Can't wait.
It's brilliant. And I'm going to go and play more later tonight, I think.
Well, I've played a little Final Fantasy VIII, the remaster or the remake, or however we're referring to that one. Launched a couple of weeks ago now. I haven't played a lot of it, just kind of the opening segments. But yeah, it's really fucking cool that we finally got a new way to play Final Fantasy VIII. Our options previously have been to play a PC version, but on console, unless you're playing on Vita, or pretty much, could you play it on PS3?
Ooh, I don't.
I guess
know.
you could, because I could play it on the Vita. Yeah, I think you could play it on
the
PS3.
poor version though.
Yeah, but this has got some upgraded visuals as much as they can do. all that kind of stuff. If you watch the Digital Foundry breakdown of it, which I wish I didn't, they do kind of let you in on a few inadequacies with the version that I never would have noticed unless they fucking told me, and they did.
I won't watch
so
that.
now that's it's kind of broken it, and I won't mention it on this. But yeah, there's a few things that are not quite right. But basically, this game is based on the PC version, and there were things about the PC version which were not as good as the PS1 version. It's not the music, because they fixed the music element, so the PC version had worse music than the PS1 version somehow. But they fixed that. But there's a few other things which are not up to scratch. Maybe they'll fix them. They probably won't, because nobody except me and Digital Foundry are going to know about them. But yeah, that's it's if anybody into that type of game, if you haven't played Final Fantasy VIII yet, it's one of the more unique and memorable Final Fantasy entries. So I heavily recommend it, and it's pretty cheap. It's like 15 quid, so recommended.
Yeah, I that would have been my game if I didn't have loads of other Final Fantasies to finish, like 9 and 7 and 14.
It's just good that it's there.
Yeah.
We're guaranteed now that it's on Steam for starters, but it's also on PS4. It's guaranteed for PS5. We've just got a way to play Final Fantasy VIII. Great.
All right, should we time for news?
You don't do that as well as me. You should ask me to do it if you
Go on,
want.
Jordan, do the news.
Okay. Well, I'm basically going to focus on the state of play.
I thought I meant like
show.
the news intro.
No, you did it. You just did it better.
Oh, okay. We don't want to. Don't want to over-egg the pudding.
No, the news has already started now. So I'm going to take us through the kind of state of play announcements, then a couple of other pieces. Obviously, the big news from state of play. How did you find the show, by the way? Just without going into the individual news bits. Do you think state of play is getting better? Do you still think that's the way that they should be doing it?
I forgot we didn't do it together because I streamed it and I thought it was a really good one. I thought it was very good. I liked it.
I really like the format. It's not rocket science. It's Nintendo Direct, but.
I think compared to the Xbox, so the Microsoft one, oh god, the state of play was amazing. Like the Xbox one just went on forever.
I'm just really interested as to who, I've got to imagine that Microsoft had that plan before PlayStation, even though they announced well after, because that was like a live studio presented type thing. You'd think that would be harder to arrange than just a digital video drop. And it's just weird that they programmed against each other to be on the same day. And I think that worked against Microsoft because PlayStation came with some actual announcements. And Microsoft, there wasn't a hell of a lot there. It was just more, it was, that, what do they call it? The Microsoft or the Xbox? Do you know what it's called?
The Microsoft.
It'll be called Xbox. Whatever it's called. It's more of just like a magazine type thing. It's not really like
Inside Xbox. That was it.
Inside Xbox. That's him. And it's more. There doesn't tend to be like big announcements there and things like that. It's just more kind of general awareness of games and things. But whatever. It was just interesting. They were both on the same day. In terms of state of play, The Last of Us 2, we got a release date. It's the 21st of February, which makes Q1 of next year like super super busy with high profile games. If you include Cyberpunk, which is slightly outside of Q1, in the kind of aftermath of Watch Dogs Legion, yes. In the aftermath of the trailer and the kind of media presentation that Naughty Dog put on, it's become clear that there's no multiplayer in The Last of Us 2, which is kind of a surprise given that the first Last of Us kind of came in this era, this PS3 360 era, where everybody was still chasing Call of Duty, and any single-player game worth its salt tended to have a hacked-on multiplayer effort to try and capture that kind of longevity and not have people trading in the game. The Last of Us had one, but just because Naughty Dog are wizards, they managed to make a really good one, and people quite liked it.
Uncharted had a good one as well.
Yeah, but which Uncharted had multiplayer? Was it just 3 or did 2 have multiplayer?
I don't know about 2, but I played it on 3 and 4. I really liked it on 3. 4 was like cool, but there were other things I wanted to play rather than that in the end.
Yeah, I think as much as they probably had serviceable multiplayer efforts, like The Last of Us had a genuine cult following. So it's interesting that they haven't included it. Yeah.
Neil.
Go on, yeah.
No, I think you're going to say what they announced then on Twitter.
Yeah, so they put out an announcement. Obviously, they were conscious that this isn't like I think with a lot of games like this, if people announced, "Oh, there's no multiplayer," people would cheer. With this, they probably knew they're going to get a little bit of feedback on it. So they put an announcement saying this isn't something that we're doing, but they kind of alluded to that they will be looking to do something with factions in the future. So it sounds like maybe a standalone.
Yeah,
or
I was thinking
DLC
that
thing for this game.
standalone. Well, yeah, DLC that would be good. Like Prey, didn't Prey do that?
A free-to-play offering, like
Yeah,
if
getting into the
you look at
universe.
PlayStation first-party ecosystem right now, PlayStation are crying out for some kind of multiplayer offering. So maybe they'll just put their time and money into that once this game is done.
Maybe we'll get multiplayer DLC. Like wasn't it Prey that had multiplayer just added on
Yeah.
DLC?
Yep. So yeah, that'll be cool.
Do you see the
there's no
replies?
multiplayer.
Do you see the Twitter replies?
Of course.
Oh, they were
It's
like, it's not good enough. Not good enough.
yeah, nothing's good enough. Nothing.
But then there's also some people saying, "What do you mean they've made the perfect game?" And someone's like, "How do you know? You've not played it yet." There's like one side or the other.
I wish Twitter would just like not let anybody comment that isn't actually verified. Even me, like just stop me from tweeting. Stop everybody from tweeting.
You have to send in your passport,
Yeah,
and it's your full name
yeah.
and your place of work.
Yeah, and your mother's address.
Yeah. I've had that before. I said something on, and someone was like, and like they went and found my Instagram because it was similar to my. I don't know how they found my Instagram, but then they found a picture of my mum, and they were like, "Oh, I found your picture of your mother. Your mother would not be happy if she found that." I was like, "What the fuck?" Just because I disagreed with somebody, and found like a picture of my mum, and I was like, "Oh, your mum. I see she's a teacher." And I was like, "Whoa, okay." Oh, she's retired.
My mother's
now.
dead.
Yeah. Okay. Some people.
Some people indeed. It's on 2 desks.
It is 2 desks. Same as Red Dead.
Yes.
I didn't realise that.
Yes. Can you think of any other games that have been on 2 discs?
Brenda says, yeah, that was the Click Click Prick. Yeah, that was that person. Any other games on 2 discs? Yes.
On PS4.
Oh, on PS4. I don't know actually.
Yeah, I'm not sure of any either. So Red Dead, apparently the Final Fantasy VII remake is on 2 discs as well.
Yeah, it's 2 games, isn't it?
Well, no, but there's the one that we'll get, next year is 2 discs worth of content.
Yeah, at the moment it seems like it's just those 2. I mean, there's some like there are DLC, like I think it was Red Dead 1, but that's obviously not going to be. Yeah, interesting.
So yeah, that was pretty much it for the Last of Us announcements. But obviously we got a trailer as well. It looks as great as you'd expect if you're a fan of The Last of Us. I can't imagine anybody has got any reservations about what they showed. And media have been to a 2-hour demo session as well, where they got hands-on with the game. And the kind of the output of that seems to be pretty unanimously positive. Everyone seems very, very happy with the state of that game. So yeah, just bring it on. February. Can't wait for that one.
BioShock Collection.
BioShock Collection.
Yeah.
Is that on PS4? Yeah.
Yeah.
So they separate the games.
Yeah, so it's separate games. I think it's
okay.
Yeah. I think is it BioShock when you buy it or you download? Yeah, I think when I downloaded it because I got it free on. It came free actually on what's it called on PS Plus recently.
Yeah.
And BioShock 1 and 2 is one download, and then BioShock 3 is a totally different download. So maybe that's what it is.
Is in BioShock Infinite?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah.
3.
So I bet that's quite a bigger game actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
we got
PS
news.
Plus.
Oh, news from Rob. His girlfriend had someone reply to a picture of her on Twitter with a video of him wanking just this morning.
And I've said sorry, so I don't know why he's bringing it up on the podcast.
It was an accident. Meant to send it to Julie Hartley Brewer. So
I meant to DM her. But so talking about PS Plus and not men wanking on Twitter, The Last of Us will be free in October. So for anybody at this point who's kind of like, why are all these idiots talking about The Last of Us 2? It doesn't even seem that good. Didn't even play the first one. Go and play the first one. It's remastered. It plays native 4K, 60 frames a second on PS4. Do yourself a favor and play that. There's a reason why it was officially Click Click Play's best game ever made.
Apparently so.
Also, MLB The Show is also free.
Yeah, why?
I don't know.
Who wants to play shit cricket?
So you might remember earlier on the show I alluded to that there might be some kind of artsy, visual heavy game on the horizon. A game that they announced at State of Play was Humanity, which I believe is the same team or was related to the team that did Terrorist Effect.
Is it that dude?
And like Rez and all that, yeah.
I'm not sure.
That looks exciting. Have you seen that? What you watched the conference?
I did. I had no idea what it is. It was amazing. It wasn't quite as amazing as that game where you poop stuff. Is it the pooping game? What's the pooping game called?
I don't know about the pooping game, Ben. I'm not sure about that, mate.
Oh, what's that pooping game called?
Right,
The one. It's out in December.
Oof, don't know.
What's that game called? Where you poop.
So you think about the poop, and I'll just explain about Humanity. So in this video, there's just like swathes of humans being like tossed around and stuff and thrown about, and it looks like it's going to be some kind of weird puzzle game, just with a lot of yes, with a lot of physics going on. And from what I've been told, it is a proper like gamer ass game. You know, they are good. You know, it's not just some weird artsy things and visual presentation. It's like a proper game. It looks really interesting, so I'm up for that.
Here we go. Yeah, Wattam. This game is played either solo or co-op and goes through spring, summer, autumn, winter. Gameplay consists of befriending other inhabitants of the world, including trees, flowers, rocks, toilets, poop, mouths, and more. By holding hands.
I love making friends with mouths.
Yeah, and poop. Hopefully not. If you don't introduce them. Uncovering secrets, playing mini games, and solving puzzles. Characters each have unique melodies which can be combined. I am totally down for that. I know that game's going to be my top 10.
Right, I'll do Humanity, you do Autumn.
Yes.
We'll see who wins. Next bit of news from State of Play, Death Stranding. Like icon
Is it
concept,
out yet?
and everyone's like, oh my god, they're going to give us more Death Stranding news. But actually, it was just a new console.
Oh, I liked the controller though. Piss yellow, see-through.
The controller is the same. Is yellow see-through, which
piss yellow.
Very much looks like the canister that you keep BB in during the game.
Oh, I thought it was his piss. Okay, because you can pee. I thought it was that color.
No, it's the canister that you keep BB in. And if you look at the console, it's got the handprints on it, yeah? So it's a white console with black handprints on it. Take a look at the detail on it. Each of the handprints, one of them is the American continent, the other one is the European continent.
Oh, so maybe you're going from America to Europe, but that would be just like a boat game, wouldn't it? Maybe it's a sailing game.
Well, I don't think it's saying you're going to Europe, but the whole point of the game is like reconnecting the world and all this kind of stuff. So I don't know, maybe you will.
It's a Strand game.
But
is Wattam
a
Strand game?
Everything is a Strand game.
Do you think we'll know what a Strand game is by the time we finish playing Death Stranding?
No, I'll probably have less of an idea what a Strand game is.
I can't wait because I think hopefully if it's not too long, we'll have finished it within the week that it comes out.
Oh, mate, I'm going to finish it in 2 days.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. The podcast after, like, so we've got to play this game. We've no idea what it was about, but
we'll just cancel the show.
We finished it. Yeah, I've got a feeling that's going to definitely happen.
Oh, I can't wait.
What? I cannot wait to play Wattam. My God.
Stop talking about Wattam.
It's just amazing. Oh, it's Annapurna Interactive, of course. My favourites. They're the ones that did What Remains of Edith Finch, Florence, and Sayonara Wild Hearts. Oh, they published them anyway.
Medieval's got a demo on PSN, so they announced that at State of Play, and it kind of went up straight away. I put that on to download earlier, so I'll have a little go, and I'll let you know next week what that's like.
Yeah. Never got into it. Played it a bit. I just remember running around and killing things, and that was it. And then
it is a weird one. It kind of just feels like Crash Bandicoot set the world on fire, specifically the UK. And the same as Spyro, probably just not to the same extent as Crash. So it just definitely feels like, you know, Sony going,
Call me when.
What else can we do?
Call me when Croc and Gex get remakes.
Yeah. Well, I think with Medieval, I think that is a purely like PlayStation game. Whereas Spyro and Crash, they had to go through Activision, and obviously they're ending up on other platforms. So I definitely think this is just a case of Sony going,
super cheap.
People in the UK definitely like their 90s nostalgia.
Yeah.
What if we pretend that Medieval was really loved, and we'll put that out? But you know, it's 25 quid.
Yeah, I thought that. I was quite surprised. If it's getting great reviews, I might give it a go.
I'll play the demo later and I'll let you know. But yeah, you know, I had a demo of it on PS1, and even then I wasn't very impressed. And that's when I was like 12 or like
Yeah.
10.
Yeah, no, I wasn't impressed when I played it as a kid. It was too
So
scary.
you'd think I'd be a little easier to impress. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe they've made more changes to it than they needed to with Crash and that. And then the last bit of news coming out of State of Play that's worthwhile talking about is just the Civ 6 is coming to PS4, which is pretty cool. Like the full version, all the expansions and all that kind of stuff. Boom, you can play it on PS4 now, which is
Well,
nice.
if you can play it on Switch, you should be able to
Yeah,
play it on
indeed.
PS4.
Yeah. Apparently, it's the first time that Civilization has come to the PlayStation platform, which I find hard to believe, but that's what they said.
I still don't understand Civ 6. I need to like sit down and be told. Because I have no idea.
There is a tutorial.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Give
me Anno. I prefer Anno. Anno is easy to follow. And City Skylines.
Sure, Anno's more difficult than
really,
than
I got.
Civilization, but
Yeah. Oh no, I loved Anno. Okay.
So outside of State of Play, just a couple of other things to touch on, all of which have infuriated the incel-like fan base of video
Don't talk about
games
my
in the
viewers
last
like
week
that.
or so. So first of all, both Microsoft and Sony have talked recently about ecological measures that they're taking with their new consoles. Obviously, with the whole sustainability and ecological debate seemingly reaching critical mass recently, it's kind of the elephant in the room when it comes to us talking about new consoles and things like that. As much as we all crave more powerful things that are going to push more pixels and whatever else, the fact is that the general social narrative is that we should be reducing energy consumption, etc. So it's no surprise, I think, that both Microsoft and Sony are trying to get ahead of that narrative and say what they're trying to do. From a Sony perspective, you've already got rest mode for your PlayStation, which essentially allows you to kind of, if you're playing a game, I love rest mode. So if I'm in the middle of a game, I can literally just put my console into rest mode and then pick it up a month later, and it's still in the exact same place. Boosh. So what they've said is that they've got a very similar mode for PS5, but with considerably less power consumption, which is nothing but good news. But obviously, because the general fan of video games is a 15-year-old cunt, the
No offense,
response
Astral.
to this has been, "Why are you crippling PS5 from the offset?" and all this kind of bullshit, because they just don't understand, and all they read is headlines, and they just don't understand, detail. There's no worries about PS5 not being a powerful console. It's just that you can put it into a sleep mode to preserve your game state, and your electricity bill is less. But they're annoyed about that.
You got one more piece of news? Because I've got a few pieces of news myself.
All right. Well, from a Microsoft perspective, they've talked about trying to make the new Xbox carbon neutral. So I'll be interested to see how they pull that off. And then the last bit of incel annoying news is that there is an exclusive Call of Duty Modern Warfare mode for PS4. It's exclusive for a year. And this is actually one that I can understand why people are annoyed. This is clearly a marketing deal that Activision and Sony have come to. Obviously, with Sony being by far the largest market out there for them, and COD will most likely be the highest selling game of the year. It kind of makes sense that these two Goliaths have made a deal. But in this day and age where Xbox have really made inroads in terms of pushing cross-play and not looking to kind of lock down their first-party experiences to any particular platform and actually offering them to Nintendo and to Steam and whatever else, this feels very antiquated to me right now. This feels like a move from 5-10 years ago versus what they should be doing now, and I think this stuff will absolutely backfire on Sony if they keep on pursuing it.
Yeah, I actually refunded my pre-order, not because of this, but I refunded my pre-order on PS4, and I'm going to get it on PC.
Well, yeah, it sounds like the PC version, even if you play in PvP, will actually make you with people using controllers. So that makes me more likely to play on PC, actually. Because one, it'll be cheaper. Two, it'll run better.
Yeah. Right, where was I? Let me see. Oh, yeah, Grid's coming out soon. I'm looking forward to Grid. 11th of October.
That's news, is it, Ben?
It is. Okay, here we go. News. They're updating the Nether region in Minecraft.
Right.
Because it was Minecon this weekend, Jordan. I don't know why I said John. I'm looking in the chat at the same time.
Brad.
Yeah. Yeah, so John, there's going to be they're updating it. It was Minecon, and they announced there's going to be bees There will be bees.
Bees?
Yeah, bees are going to be coming to
Oh my
Minecraft.
God.
That's another game I've been playing mostly, actually. Yeah.
Let me guess. Is it like a cubic honey nest, whatever you call them, honeycomb shaped thing, and if you hit it, bees come out? Is that what happens?
I don't know. I think you can make honey and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course you can.
But yeah, so you can do that. Also, there's another that you can do like some kind of thing with the things and it'll work.
All right, do some things with the things.
Yeah.
Work, yeah.
Minecraft,
Right.
great. By the way, I've been
Good,
playing
good
a
news.
lot of Minecraft lately. It's amazing.
So just to be clear with that one then, because I just want to make sure that I'm clear on it and that the listeners are clear on it. You can do some things with the things, and then it will work. Is that what we're saying?
It'll provide
That's confirmed.
It'll make another thing, and it'll
You
work.
can do some things with the things,
Yeah.
and it'll work, and that'll make another thing. Yeah,
That's right.
that's confirmed.
Absolutely. It's confirmed at Minecon.
Right. I'm gonna go download it then. That's
You
amazing.
should do. Get some good texture packs, and you'll
Things.
be Get
some things.
No, I can't remember what it is. It's something like
No
I
shit.
don't even know. I haven't seen it. I just thought, oh, that looks kind of
He
cool.
doesn't
How it
even
makes
know.
it makes
He doesn't
a
even know.
a person clicked a button and a house appeared, and I was like, that looks cool. I could not make that happen in the game right now, so it must be a new feature. So there you go.
Right. All right. You get a thing.
Okay, breaking news: Death Stranding's baby. So the baby in Death Stranding will communicate with you via the
Yeah.
PS4 controller.
Yeah, I will.
That's interesting. Are you looking forward to? That'll be great to stream, won't it? Going through the microphone. Oh, the baby just said it needs a shit. Oh, okay.
It's a cool feature of the PS4 controller. I know some people hate it. You can turn down the volume, by the way, if you go into settings. If you really
King Berserk says, "Don't shake the controller." Don't shake the baby. Rob says, the more I hear about this game, the more I think I'll buy it pre-owned. Wow. A hater.
Fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. What a fucking tool. Go and play fucking Assassin's Creed 29, you cunt. That's why I got. I think that was the exact sense I said to Jason Schreier to get blocked. So without the cunt bit, I didn't call him.
Oh, that's why he blocked you. He still blocked you. Also, the price of iron has just gone up in Gears 5.
Oh,
So the money that you like, the in-game currency that you can buy, because apparently you can.
iron.
Yeah.
What a boring ass fucking game, kids.
Oh, I don't know. I think it was what was it? NBA points. It was something like you bought it and it had like the NBA 2K currency. Oh, what was it? It had the most boring name. What was it? Virtual. Oh no, it was VC, otherwise known as virtual currency. Everything, yeah. That was beautiful. Also, breaking news. You can now catch up on the story. If you're like, oh, Destiny doesn't have a story. Oh, yes, it does. You can watch a whole entire complete story of Destiny. There's a video that's been a year in the making by, my name is Bife. He talks like this. And he speaks for like 4 hours, giving the entire timeline from before Destiny 1 all the way to where we are now. 4 hours of complete story, and it's
So what time is Destiny 2 out in the UK?
it is. I think it's
The
6 p.m. on Tuesday. So if you start it now,
No, I'll probably start that, like, if it's 4 hours, I'm gonna start that at like 2 p.m. on Tuesday, watch it, and then boom into Destiny 2.
I was thinking that would be perfect as a podcast. I don't know if I'd. Although watching it, you kind of go, oh, okay, that's from this area, and it certainly adds something. But I think I might be doing other things rather than just sitting watching TV for 4 hours. The guy, he's an amazing guy. He's really talented, but his voice just annoys me quite a bit because he talks like this. It's like really.
Quota.
Yes, really. Hi, my name is Bife. Okay, and then final
Quota did this.
final thing is we are getting close to the end of 2020. Wait, no, it'll be the end of. We are getting close compared to the beginning of the 2010s. But what would be the game of the decade? And when does this decade finish? Does this decade finish at the end of this year or at the end of next year?
End of this year, I guess, because you would include 2010.
Ooh, wait, so end of the decade. Rob says Fortnite. Yeah, the end of this decade will end on the end of this year. That's another special podcast I smell.
Oh god! I suppose we managed to do of all time, so I guess this decade.
Of the decade, yeah. We've got in the chat.
That'll be fun.
So what would it be there? In the chat, we've got a mixture of Fortnite, Last of Us, and Minecraft. One of those is not like the others. One of those is for adults. Minecraft.
It's Bloodborne.
Was Red Dead was when was Red Dead? No, Red Dead was this decade, obviously.
Yeah, I have no idea like when games are released and stuff. Do you want me to just search for that?
But yeah, I think the game of the decade, if it was something like iconic, it's got to be Fortnite. If that's the way we're going. The most influential game of the decade.
Yeah, but that's not what we're doing, is it? You'd have a good argument for Dark Souls then, because what does Fortnite actually influence?
What is Dark
itself?
Souls? It's just a difficult action game, isn't it?
No. It pretty much. You mentioned Dark Souls earlier when you talking about the Goose Game.
Yeah, because you can open gates.
Yeah, exactly. So that's influential. Like as Fortnite is a Goliath, but I don't see what's the influence really.
Oh, well, Fortnite, yeah. I mean, no, yeah.
If anything, it's just made games move away from
free to play
in that model because they can't compete with it.
Yeah. Minecraft brought so much. Yeah, Minecraft would be a good one. Minecraft.
When was Minecraft released though?
Was it 2009? Actually, maybe it isn't. It was released 2009. So
it's
technically
not included, mate.
by a couple of Detective Festive says Witcher 3. That would be down as like one of the best. Yeah, I think a lot of RPGs after The Witcher 3 get compared to The Witcher 3. Oh, someone's got a V8 outside. Lives in the rough neighborhood.
Are we doing the best game, or are we doing the most influential game?
Should we say? Let's say.
Are we doing this right now?
Yes. No, we're not going to do it right now. But we're just like a little discussion for a few minutes. I'll tell you what they say on Reddit. But yeah. Oh wait. So Witcher 3. Rob says, "My mother knows what Fortnite." No. Oh bloody hell! My mother knows what Fortnite is. I played CS for half the time. Me and her have known each other, and she still doesn't know what that is. So she doesn't know what CS is.
Better though, doesn't it? You know.
Mm-hmm. What would you say then is the best game?
I still don't know what the question is. So if it's the best game for me personally, it's Bloodborne because that's my third best game of all time. I think Mass Effect 2 would be up there for this decade. There's a lot because you're looking at like the 360 era, which is there's a shit ton of really fucking good games. Like BioShock is probably in there, right?
Yeah. Let's just say like the best game. If somebody was like, say, hey, recommend me a game, what would you say you should play this game?
Depends who they are. Do they look dull behind the eyes?
Witcher 3. I would say the best game this decade for someone to play now would I'd be difficult to not recommend Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild would be a big one. Yeah, that's definitely in the discussion.
Witcher 3, definite. Detective, I agree as well. Witcher 3 is such an epic game. Like, but Breath of the Wild, anybody can play that. You can just learn as you're playing it. So yeah, just go out and do whatever you want, and eventually.
Based on, because you're flip-flopping all around the place in terms of what we're actually talking about. But if we're talking about what would you recommend to somebody, I think Uncharted 2 would be up there as well. I think that was definitely kind of a crossroads in terms of what cinematic aimed games can be, and probably still kind of top of the class for that stuff. Like obviously I prefer The Last of Us, but I don't like that's a pretty serious survival horror, quite grim game. Not everybody's going to want to play that, so I definitely think Uncharted 2 is a bit of an eye opener for a lot of people.
I'd say maybe the good one is on this thread. Someone recommended Spider-Man. That is a perfect open world superhero game. And it's stunning. Love Spider-Man. Oh my god! Somebody said Ark Survival Evolved. They're the lowest rated. That's the lowest rated comment. Pokemon Go says right. Ark.
Imagine recommending Ark to anybody.
Yeah, that got announced, didn't it? It's coming to Xbox. Atlas.
Oh yeah, can't wait.
Yeah. No Man's Sky. I mean, it's changed a lot, I suppose. But yeah, Spider-Man. Ooh, I should make a personal
Kingdom
one.
Come Deliverance.
Oh
That's what
God,
I should-
where's Alex? Yeah. Someone also recommended on here. They said Astrobot. I can see where that is come from. For like in terms of because this is when VR. I imagine it's like the birth of VR, and then the next decade's going to be, well, let's see, maybe the death of VR, or maybe VR just staying under the radar for the entire time, and it's a bit of a niche market, or what? I don't know. But Astrobot is definitely the best game for anybody. We need Don Beagles here. When did Eve Online come out?
2008, I think.
Oh. Final Fantasy 14 in terms of Final Fantasy 14 was like when it comes to MMOs, there's no doubt that the game of the decade is Final Fantasy 14. I think Don Beagles would say Armor.
Yeah, big DayZ fan.
DayZ as well, yeah. Armor 2 kind of did spawn DayZ and PUBG.
Which spawned PUBG, which spawned Fortnite.
Yeah. Bubbly G. All right, well, in the chat, there's that's going to be an interesting podcast when we do it. I was thinking as well,
We need to work out what the question is because we've asked
Yeah.
about 5 different questions, haven't we? So I think it should just be like what we did with the top 100 of all time, just what we think are the best.
I think,
games.
yeah, because it's got to be subjective, obviously. So we may as well, rather, if it's like most influential, then that's when you start bringing facts to it, and you don't want to bring facts.
But then who cares? You know,
It's our
Like,
opinion.
Who cares?
People look
Solitaire.
to us.
Like,
People look to us, Jordan, for advice in playing games. So it needs
I
to be
agree.
our subjective, what we believe is the best.
Yes.
So for me, it's either going to be Breath of the Wild or Spider-Man, I think.
Breath of the Wild's a good shout. Spider-Man, you're overselling, but we'll.
Oh, you need to finish that.
Spider-Man
Spider-Man is a perfect open world
I
action
finished
game.
it before you.
Did you finish the DLC though?
Oh, I don't think that. From what I've heard, Ben, the DLC doesn't change the game in any way.
It
you know?
doesn't. It just adds, but it doesn't. It's not just the same. It's kind of they varied enough to make it worthwhile.
Okay.
WWE 2K18 Switch Edition. Sometimes when I want to laugh, I go and watch the Digital Foundry cover of that.
Watch Ark as well. Their Ark video is really good.
Have they got one on Atlas?
I
would love to see them,
hopefully one soon. Yeah.
Yeah, when that comes out on Xbox, I can't wait to see that. Rob says no need. It's Armor sorted. Oh, I should play it then, shouldn't I? All right. Well, I'm gonna be right back. Thank you very much to Jordan. By the way, I was thinking I kind of like this podcast style, just me and you and the chat, and maybe occasionally get a somebody in if they really want it. Hopefully, if you're listening to this on your favorite podcast player, then I hope the sound quality was really good for you because we've been recording it separately and it takes a bit of extra time to do it all, but you guys are worth it. And I kind of want to make this podcast a little bit more professional after 108 episodes. So hopefully it'll sound a little bit better. But I was thinking as well, we should have like certain specials, like a summer special, an autumn special, like every now and again have a special. But what we do in the special, we get drunk.
Yay.
And we just chat for 2 or 3 hours while
That's
drunk.
what I do every podcast.
Do you? I've got here half a bottle of wine, and I was too lazy. Also, I don't have any trousers on. I can't turn the cam off to go and get and as a 2-man, you can't really leave it for a bit. I couldn't get the wine glass. So
Alright,
yeah,
it's fine.
and do karaoke. But yeah, I was thinking maybe there's not really any. Maybe we could do a Halloween special or something. That might be fun. We got to dress up, get drunk, and do a Halloween podcast.
What do you dress as?
I don't know, but why don't you come over and then we can go out and party after?
Okay.
Sounds. When is the 31st? Oh, that's like in the middle of the week, but we'll do it on a Saturday or something. Yeah. Sounds perfect. All right. So yeah, thank you very, very much for watching. If you like this and you want to, and for some reason you just randomly found it on a podcast thing or whatever, I'm BiggusBennus1 on Twitter, but you want to find me on Twitch at BiggusBennus. Then also you can find me at click or find these podcasts at clickplay.com. It's going to finally get updated. And John, where can we find you? You
can find me on Twitter at ImmortanJord.
All right. And do you Are you going to be streaming anytime soon?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, no, I've finally got the internet in my new place, so yeah, I might do some streaming and that.
Ooh, do some Blasphemous.
Hmm.
Not for that. All right. Well, thank you very much for listening and watching. We're going to be back next Sunday. Are you around?
I can be around, yeah.
It's going to be a Destiny 2 special. I can guarantee that. Also, isn't there another game that's coming out next week? Isn't Breakpoint out like later on in the week?
Breakpoint is out next week, I think. Yeah,
So
on
that's-
Friday.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I can remember that's actually one of the reasons why I was desperate to finish Destiny as quickly as possible, because I do want to play a bit of that and see what it's. Yeah, that's going to be out next week. I'll see what's happening. That One Night Stand is out, which is a visual novel. But yeah, that's it. It's just Call of Duty Mobile that comes out on the 1st. Destiny 2, Shadowkeep, and Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Oh, and Concrete Genie is the week after. Interesting. All right. Well, by the way, if you want to play Ori and the Blind Forest, it is now available on the Switch, which I'm kind of tempted to play. Oh Christ, Destiny 2.
What a
how
way to
fun.
end the show with just a little Ori advert.
Yeah. Big. I at least deserve a code for that. Come on, Mr. Microsoft. Send me a code. Okay. Bye-bye, everybody.
Ta-da.